Welcome to New England Ski Journal's Basecamp Podcast, presented by Country Ski and Sport. Ski season is here, and it's time to gear up at Country Ski and Sport. Shop now for your best preseason deals at any of their 3 locations in Hanson, Quincy, and Westwood, Mass. Or shop online at countryski.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into the New England Ski Journal Basecamp Podcast. I'm Mike Speechin, your host, with my co-host,
Keith Pearson of the New England Ski Journal.
Keith Pearson of the New England Ski Journal. This is getting to be fun, Keith. Welcome.
We're getting there.
You're starting to become. I think you're going to be a broadcast professional next.
They're paying me, right? So that means I'm a professional. Whether I'm good at it or not, that's to be debatable.
I heard the boss here got a email from Channel 5 asking you if you wanted to jump on and be. You're getting there, man.
Oh, we're getting there. We're feeling good.
No,
not as good as we'll feel as soon as we're skiing, but we're feeling good about it. We'll get the magazine coming out pretty soon.
Awesome.
Should be hitting the shelves.
That's awesome. What do you think? We had that early October snowfall. What did you think? What were you feeling?
The problem was that at the back of it, we always knew it was going to warm up afterwards. So it was a nice taste. It got the juices flowing. But at the same time, we knew that it wasn't going to be enough to get Killington open, up on North Ridge. So, nice tease. That's all it was. But hat tip to those who put in the work and climbed and gave us some videos to look at.
There were a lot of pictures and videos. I went back and looked at my Facebook posts because when we get snow, I don't care if it's out in Mammoth or here in the East, I'll post. That day, over 10 years, I believe 6 of those 10 years, we saw snow up north. And substantial. If you remember a couple of years ago, Burke, they got something like 12 or 18 inches, and people were skiing it. It's not abnormal at all.
No, it's one of those things. It's big storm came through. It brings cold. Where's Tim Kelly when we need him? But it brings that cold air down, and you get these mid-October snowstorms. I remember that Patriots game. What was that? Probably 15 years ago when they beat the Titans 59-0 or something. Driving snowstorm. It was middle of October in Foxborough, and it was getting enough snow.
Well,
it was in 2009.
You know what?
15 years ago.
That's what we have is a producer
Look at him banging away, fact checking right on the fly.
Hey! This is a debate, no fact checking. Okay, but you don't want to talk about the Patriots right now. Okay, let's stay on skiing.
Hey, I talked about the good Patriots.
The good Patriots, the past. But you look at that. What that did to me. Look, all of my skis, and there's a few pairs. All of my skis were waxed, but my roto brush came out. The bench came out. All of them got roto brushed and ready to go after that storm going, okay, I better get it done now while it's, I'm ready.
I'm ready too. I do have to bring my stuff in. I will admit to that.
But, it's, hey, it's here. And know how we know it's here? New England, 2nd year in a row, first open area in the country.
Congratulations to Ski Ward for firing up that machine that they got, the ice box.
So the snow guns get you excited. Did the ice box get you excited?
Absolutely, because you flip the carpet on, and we had actual people paying to be on snow, and just the start of the season is here.
Did you see the pictures?
I saw a few.
Yeah, the pictures of the corduroy and the first turns down that. It's a small piece, but it's sort of like big snow. It's something special when you can actually glide down a hill. I don't care how much is there. Look, skiing's about fun.
Right.
Puts a smile on your face.
Faces.
That's all it's about.
Yeah, the people that were there were clearly happy to be there, and what a better way to spend a weekend? Well, they spent a few hours just sliding around. They're ahead of us.
You know what? Wolf Creek, I know you're open and running. You were the first in the West and the first fully opened. And Wolf Creek in Pagosa Springs, Colorado, is an awesome spot. I mean, it's my kind of ski area. Wholeheartedly. I love it out there. But thank you, Ski Ward. You know the other thing about Ski Ward for that opening? What was the lift ticket?
It was like $25, wasn't it?
$5. $5.
Wasn't on top of the fall pass?
Nope.
Nice.
So think about it. $5 to make a turn. I understand it was the magic carpet and everything else. But today we're going to talk about deals.
Deals
and $5 is a deal.
$5 is a deal. Doesn't matter how, doesn't matter how far it's going up.
You drop $5 at Starbucks and then some. Okay, let's get real.
My breakfast this morning was more than $5.
So, it's kind of interesting because when we talk about deals, there used to be a lot of deals out there, and they disappeared as we went to the Mega Pass, then we went to COVID, and too many people were on each hill, and so on. But I looked at your bio that you wrote for the New England Ski Journal when you came on to it. And you stated that basically you look for deals.
Absolutely.
Okay? You might have a pass, but if you're going to travel, you're not going to spend $250, $500 on a night, whether, it's just not your demographic. So we're going to talk about deals today.
Deals are good, and I'm always open for new ones. And it's probably the best way to introduce me to a new hill.
There you go. Would you say you are the traditional demographic of the suburban skier?
I probably get up north during the midweek a bit more than that person, but pretty much, yeah. A bunch of weekends.
Youth sports?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
I mean, mine's about to graduate high school, so we're aged out of that stuff. But the idea that, he doesn't want to go up every weekend.
Right.
So I might jump up for a couple extra days when he's in school and stuff. But, by and large, every other weekend we might go up.
Right.
But he doesn't have a pass. So he's using my buddy passes. So wherever I can find a deal to, go somewhere else, that's what we do.
What about your neighbors? What about your friends that you ski with? Would you say most of them have full-on passes or are looking for deals to get out there and ski still?
I would say most have passes.
Okay.
That's
what do you think? Is it Most Epic or Icon? Indy?
They lean Icon.
They lean Icon, really?
Yeah.
Because
of where they live.
Because of Loon Maiden?
No. A couple friends of mine, they like Sugarbush more than anything
okay,
else. So
that's unlimited.
That's unlimited.
Right.
It's essentially a Sugarbush pass for them.
Sure.
But they'll branch out.
Sure.
And I think they might have Indy now too, but I haven't done the whole hey, which pass do you have conversation.
Well, yeah. Which pass do you have? Oh man, you have that pass.
Yeah.
Come on.
I can't be friends with you.
Exactly. We're not quite that polarized in the ski world, thank God.
Not almost though.
But yeah, almost. But coming on,
at least we have a third party there.
Well, yeah, the Indy Pass is growing.
It's getting bigger.
Exactly.
Over 230 now.
I know. It's pretty exciting. But coming on next, we're going to have on a long-term friend of mine, somebody that has built his career on trying to make skiing affordable for the masses, because that's what it is, and to I don't want to say buck the trend, but enhance things for even people that have these mega passes. So coming on next, we're going to have John Siewierski of the Mountain Sports Club. Any of the old timers that remember Ski Card International, which was huge in the 90s, I mean, just huge. It actually got you all these discounts. Mark, John has reinvented this to make it more a year-round product. And we're going to find out what it's all about. So we will be right back after this with John Siewierski. The Button Ski Hanger is a patented ski storage fixture that safely stores alpine skis regardless of length, width, or shape. This means that your fat powder skis can now be stored next to your narrower carving skis, your race skis, and your kid skis. For more information, visit their website, buttonskirack.com. The Button Ski Hanger is also available for purchase at Amazon.com. So make your purchase today. The Button Ski Hanger is simply better for your skis. Welcome back, everybody, to the Basecamp Podcast. And now joining us from the great state of Colorado, where they're skiing, John Siewierski, founder of the Mountain Sports Club. Hey, John, how you doing?
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
Well, Keith Pearson's here with me, who is the editor of the New England Ski Journal. We're gonna do something here pretty unique for this podcast. Keith is actually going to learn about your product and how it works for somebody like Keith. What do you think, Keith?
I'm in. I've been busy doing other stuff, so I put this podcast in your hands. So I am flying blind. So let's see what John's got.
Well, John, you and I have known each other for a long time. You know the New England and Boston marketplace incredibly. Why don't you give us a little background of your ski industry experiences?
Well, it's been a long journey. This will be year 45. I began in the business as a straight salesperson for company Ski AmeriCard in Colorado in 1980. Within 3 years, we started Ski Card International. This was before all the large resort consolidation. We had a discount membership card. We had over 150 resorts throughout North America. We would eventually do race days with sponsors like Chase Manhattan Bank, Subaru of America. At one point, we opened an office in Paris for discounts in France. After doing that for 15 years, spent time with the early introduction of internet websites, brought in conveyor lifts, robotic tuning machines, basically done 15 different product introductions over 45 years. And it was about 18 years ago, a group of individuals were like, hey, there's no real online discount promotional programs. And why don't you bring it back? You did it with Ski Card. I go, well, are you going to support us? And that began the road to starting Mountain Sports Club. And we're 18 years in, not just working with ski areas on lift ticket discounts, because the landscape sure has changed.
It has.
There's fewer discounts to be had. And as a consumer, if you say, why don't discounted lift tickets, I'm more likely to try a place. How do you find these deals, and how does the card work? How does your card work?
Well, one, we're not a card anymore. We're an online service, okay? So you need to register with the username and password. We've worked very hard. You can find, people say they don't like the discount, but they do have promotional offers, whether it be a purchase in advance, which we see many of the areas do, that's significantly discounted from a walk-up window. We will oftentimes get a little bit better price using a promotion code or a unique URL that gives you a landing page. We make sure you cannot access that without logging in as a paid member with a unique username and password. They still do offer discounts at the ticket window, We'll have that with lodging properties, shop partners like Country Ski and Sports, where you download and print out a voucher, or you present your phone with a QR that has a code on it, which requires an ID to be redeemed for it to be used. Ski resorts like our promotional program because when you download a voucher and use it, your name, address, and email is embedded in it. And as aggressive as skiers are with their multi-resort passes, reciprocal deals on season passes, we see every year in December and January, those that are not in the know have dropped out, are coming back to skiing, very occasional, didn't buy these early season deals, and they're getting sticker shock at the window when you see lift ticket prices on a day walk up approaching $300. It stops a family. So we really see a lot of ski areas that are not part of the big conglomerates still using our promotional program. Because again, even though skier visits now, about 50% of them come from their own pass and loyalty programs, but we still have a large number that are still buying tickets last minute, depending upon snow, what friend's condo they're staying at. Many times they'll look at the big mountain pass and they go, I got a family of 3 or 4. We're not spending $1,000 for the day. So they'll go to the local area, maybe a McIntyre, a Pat's Peak, to mention 2 of them in the area where there's discount and it's affordable for a new family or a young couple just trying to buy a house.
Excellent.
Well, yeah, I mean, the mega passes are fantastic. They do allow all of us to ski a lot of areas under one umbrella, but it's limiting. I'm going to read you something, John. This is off of Keith's bio as he came on to the New England Ski Journal. John, I stated Keith was going to sort of be our subject here. In his bio, when he wrote his original piece for the New England Ski Journal, he wrote, when the season kicks into high gear, I'm ready to go wherever I can go on a pass or find a place cheap enough for an overnight or 2. I think he is the perfect person for what you're trying to present here. What do you think?
Well, the fact that he's looking for an overnight makes it even more desirable. We make a point to get lodging discounts and offers, whether it be a condo, affordable motel, a bed and breakfast. We try to do it in every single resort town we can, even if you have an Icon, Epic, or Indy pass. It's interesting. Back in the day, we would say use it once it's paid for, use it often, save hundreds looking at the lift ticket discount. But now, when you look at lodging at $300 a night or more places, 15, 20% off there really complements your pass quite well. You'll have the lift ticket savings as well. And then again, you can use it in the summertime at those areas for other activities. So we really try to give you a multitude of areas to get the value of our membership.
Well, with the Mega Pass, Keith, okay, let's just say you're an Icon Pass holder and you have a house at Killington. Now you want to go over and ski Loon or maybe Sugarloaf for a couple days. The ability, that just nailed what you put in your bio. You can get that inexpensive pass. Would you say that's a pretty accurate statement, John?
Yeah, it is. I mean, people are spending money on every element of their vacation. And with day walk-up lift tickets, approaching that $300 mark, when you start adding the lodging, other services as well, for example, the discounts we have at Tunes, at Country Ski and Sports is really key too. You got your gear, you're going to go out. You want it tuned well for the condition. So it's your lodging, which oftentimes is the most expensive part of your vacation. So they complement everyone quite well.
Has it? How much has it changed your product? Like, how much has it changed the places that you've offered?
Well, what's changed is with consolidation of the multi-resort groups. Of course, you don't have the lift ticket discounts. Right. But again, many of the local merchants in those areas are not owned and operated by those different resort groups. So they're really having to fend for themselves. Many times if these resort groups own their own lodging properties or shops, they don't promote the other independent ones in those areas. So we've had to work hard to make a bit of a pivot to make sure we cover those areas with value propositions when people are going. And COVID was a big hit for us, plain and simple. People didn't know what they were doing. Many people that had worked for us for years were simply on pause. We're coming back. More and more areas that were there that had sat out are coming back into the fold. But what that afforded us the time to do, we're the Mountain Sports Club. We're not Ski Cart. We always wanted, and we'd done a little bit of whitewater rafting, lift service, mountain biking, adventure travel. So COVID really gave us the opportunity to start doing that. We have a sister site, embedded into Mountain Sports Club, MSC Bike Parks. Okay, that's an area because what we do know, skiers and snowboarders are mountain sports enthusiasts. They go back to the mountains in the summer. Even if it's for a concert, the lodging works for them. Even if it's going to go camping, the same. Maybe a bike rental or lift service mountain biking. So we've really worked to be more year-round at providing value to our members.
Well, yeah, but you said bike parks. They have grown exponentially in the ski world, and I think you just nailed it. The skier, the winter sport enthusiast also loves to play in the mountains in the summer, and it's got to be interconnected. Hence why, Killington created a year-round pass. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. Who exactly would you say, John, your demographic? Who is your customer?
One of the obvious ones, we see it each year once we get to January. People that are lap skiers or beginning skiers that have skied a few times, but they're not quite sure they want to make that leap to a pass. The other group that we have are those that have bought these passes and not used them as much as they thought. They're making that big commitment. Johnny and Sally playing basketball or hockey. Back in September, when they bought their pass, they're like, oh, we're going to go a whole lot. They go maybe 3-4 times. They're like, boy, the value isn't there for us. So that's a piece that we continue to see picking up as well. Those who have tried the Indy Ski Pass, and again, don't use as much. Some of these are built upon breakage. When they are selling the passes and they're remitting net back, once you get a good snow year everywhere, that margin gets eroded. We saw that happen with Liftopia many years ago. So we as a company, I don't want to take the money for those services and redistribute it. The payment goes directly to the resort, the shop, the vendor, the outfitter, and that's a cleaner transaction model for us. And we continue to see it grow.
I see that, that's that group that is getting kind of ignored by the ski area. They want the beginner and they want the person to be all in, but it's that pushing them into that next stage before they're ready to be in the season pass.
Well,
and it helps you find a place to eventually become a season pass holder.
Well, it gets you out there skiing more. The industry, as we parlayed into these mega passes, we lost the bus programs because the resorts wouldn't discount enough to allow the bus operator to be profitable. But we're seeing a shift there right now. And, I use Killington as an example. I know for a fact that they are opening up to more buses this year, but that market has been ignored. The learning market, the casual skiing market. John, you've been around a long time. Would you say it has been ignored or not?
Mike, you're spot on. We're actually seeing it. Some of the reporting that's coming out from NSAA, beginner lessons are starting to drop. The month of January used to be the month called Ski It to Believe It. Very aggressive promotional programs to bring first-time skiers in, and they all had bounce back offers with them. And in fact, we had worked with NSAA on that at one point, where we would give a membership free for the first year to learn to ski people during that month, to give them the option to try additional areas. We're, speaking to our areas, and a program I really like that we're really working on doing more is bring a friend and put them in a learn to ski package and give the person that brings them a special offer. It's critical because we want them in ski school. We know retention is better once they get a lesson rather than their friend dragging them to the top of the hill. We've all heard the stories about them floundering one or two times down and them going, what the heck is the fun of this? So working with people to identify that hole in the market, as I call it, is critical. Mike, you talk about the bus groups. It's no different than school groups. We're not all aficionados, and there's some talk with all of these multi-area passes, or what I see, the independent ski resorts having 10, 15, 20 other resort partners where they're giving away 2 to 3 free days. There's zero revenue except for parking, food services. And you want to talk about a barrier, you got an occasional family, you got lift tickets, you got rentals, you got lodging. Now you got premium pay for parking. It's tough to add up. You got uncertainty in place.
No, it's amazing. John, you said the bring a friend. You're almost going back to what I saw as an extremely effective program by SIA in their Learn to Ski program many moons ago.
Without a doubt. Oftentimes we forget the things that we were successful. There's an old statement, don't fix it if it isn't broken. And people always want to innovate. Innovation's fantastic, but there are certain tried and true things that keep working, and you need to do it.
So many people are trying to reinvent the wheel.
Well, yeah, I mean, guess what? Everything doesn't have to change when it's working. And, we need to concentrate on the next generation. You've heard me say it numerous times with guests, Keith. We need to concentrate on the next generation and growing the industry. And that's where a program like Mountain Sports Club, I think, fills a void that nobody else is filling. How useful is this to the core New England skier, this program?
You're going to ask him again. You hate to ask that question. You have this pass? Boy, how do you like the crowds these days? Which days of the week do you ski? How long do you wait in line? And, you're getting some feedback from it. We've seen it from all of them. We go, would you ski another area if you didn't have crowds, didn't have to pay for parking, and you had a half price lift ticket? So you ask them that question, and oftentimes they'll answer, sure, I haven't been there. I'd love to try that area. Also, it's a little closer to home. I don't have to stay overnight, with families that are doing that. And then we lead with the question, do you have a pass? No. Where are you skiing at? And then we'll direct them. And there's no question, it is, especially with people coming back in the sport with families, would you ski this area if you had this deal? Most of them say yes. They're out hunting for special offers. And they've been inundated from spring through about Thanksgiving, when a lot of these passes and deals are cut off and nothing happens. As I mentioned before, January is our busiest month. It's when these deals aren't available and they have sticker shock. They go hunting and they find us.
That's, you know what? I can see that happening.
One, how much is it to get in? And can you just give an example? Like, what kind of deals am I getting? Is it, 10% off the rack rate? Is it half off? Buy one, get one? How steep can they be?
Well, it's a great question, Keith, and it really does vary. It varies by time of the week and time of the year. Our membership right now, we're preseason $15. We'll get up to, right around that $60 price in the peak season. And, we've used the line forever. Use it once, it's paid for. When you have a 2-for-1 lift ticket, whether it be your local areas, McIntyre, Pat's Peak, areas out in the West, you're saving $80 to $100 your first day. You add that up with your overnight lodging, which can be 20% off of $100 to $300 unit rental. It's pretty obvious what happens right away. So we try to make it a quick turn, one-time, two-time redemption. Because when you're buying a pass, your break even is usually 4 or 5 or 6 days. Where's that group that isn't sure and that isn't making that commitment to one area? Coming back to this, I want to try a few. What do I have locally before I go 3 hours away or 4 hours? So that's where we try to find people in each slot, different resort partners.
Excellent. John, I've got to ask this question because you just said the break-even point. You go to the NSAA conventions or meetings. What is the average, for the listener and the latest numbers for me as well, what is the average day that a skier skis? Not the average. What is it right now?
The multi-area passes have skewed. It used to be about 4.5 to 5 days. It's running more around 6.5 to 7 days.
Okay.
Yeah. And what we're seeing is the older demographic, they're skiing more than ever. They used to not. And we're actually seeing it. Season passes were free when you were seniors, or $99. We're seeing skier is eliminating free passes for skiers that are 80 years and older now. So the retired folks are skiing more, than the youth coming in. We have a huge demographic challenge in this country, and especially for sports. Like skiing, we read it in the paper, houses are getting harder to buy. If you're a new family to 1 or 2, are you going skiing when it's costing you $1,000 a day for putting that money away to go buy a house? That explains why we're seeing some significant demographic challenges at that entry level and youth demographic. And we can't ignore it for the long haul.
No, and I think you're right. Even the 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds that have families with kids, I mean, I'm seeing it everywhere right now that they're dropping off due to finances, but also youth sports, and it gets tougher and tougher to justify laying out $800, $900, $2,000 for a lift or for a pass.
Especially when you just spent, the proliferation of pay-to-play youth sports. So I paid a couple grand for my kid to play youth basketball, travel youth basketball. Now skiing takes a back seat to that.
Yeah, it does. So
Keith, you are so spot on. Raising 3 sons here in Colorado on travel teams for a year, I spent more money a year for them per kid than I did for my college education. That may speak to how old I am and how much more affordable college was. But again, those families, it's a house, and they're thinking of college later on for them. So how many buckets do you have to put money from your paycheck in?
No, even just before back in the day when the town used to run their own youth. I could go on forever about youth sports. It used to just be the town league. You're spending more money now in gas, bringing your kid from travel spot to travel spot, than you used to pay for all if they played all 3 seasons.
And you had a good point, but let's spin this to a more positive piece.
Please do.
We always talk about alpine skiing, okay? And we love it. That's why we're here. I've spent my life there. Michael, you have as well.
Yep.
You obviously embraced it. There's nothing like the thrill and, freshly groomed corduroy first thing in the morning, a powder day, pretty hard to beat. We want to do it. But what we're also seeing, the love for being outdoors and nature in snow and in the mountains, cross country and Nordic skiing continues to grow. And I know one marketing director up at Jackson Cross Country Touring Center in New Hampshire.
She is a wonderful person.
Ellen worked at the ski resorts and the alpine resorts forever. And she clearly stated, and we're, as a result, working with them and other cross country centers, she goes, those alpine skiers that want to get outside, they're getting sticker shock. They're my target customer. And more of them want to get out with the family. They don't need the crowds. And you're seeing that transition. We see it in backcountry skiing. We're actually talking to different groups that do backcountry touring with guides and all, is another category we want to add to our collection. Not just alpine, but Nordic and backcountry adventure skiing as well. Avi classes for the backcountry continues to grow. So we're seeing some, subtle shifts that I think are going to grow significantly. And again, we're the Mountain Sports Club. We're not the alpine downhill card anymore. We want to get people outside to explore the mountains, take advantage of it, and stretch their budgets so they can continue to play in the great mountains and outdoors that we have.
That's, John, like I said, I've known you for a long time. Ski Card International, I knew very well, of course. I think products like this are what have disappeared and have been missing in the ski world, even as we saw the consolidation of ASC when it all started. And then it just went on steroids. I guess the next question is, John, how do you join?
Well, one, you go to mountainsportsclub.com and you go to register. You'll see your different options, what we do. You have your 1-year membership. We have a 2-year membership. Then we have what we call Premium Plus. We work with some of our ski areas on a limited basis where you get the full membership, plus you add a day lift ticket. We have some of those memberships as low as $25 and $40 early season. Additionally, we'll do different promotions at ski sales and shows with our partners. We have one coming up with Country Ski and Sports.
Well, that's this weekend.
At the expo, any $100 or more, you bring us the receipt on the way out the door, we're going to set you up with a membership. We've been a partner with Country Ski and Sports for several years, and those are the kind of partnerships we want to do to add value to our specialty retailers and their customers to ensure that they keep getting out and on the mountain.
Now, you mentioned mountain biking. Are you teaming up with mountain bike resorts as well?
Yes, we over the last couple of years, we've specifically worked with different resorts that offer lift service mountain biking. And we're looking at the increasing number of those that do shuttles in the marketplace. And that's a new initiative. We expect to have even more of those next summer for lift service mountain biking and those that are running shuttle services.
So that membership is a year-round card as opposed to the old, ski cards.
Yep.
Well,
diversification.
like I said, we live in a year-round situation here in the mountains, and it all used to be separated, but now it really is coming together, and all of these resorts are looking at summertime business because you never know what the winter's going to bring, especially here in the Northeast. But, well, we will see you this weekend at Country Ski and Sport then. I guess anybody that is in the Boston area, you can see John there. I've got one other parting question for you, John.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know Colorado wanted to be first this year, opened up. How does it feel for little Ward Hill in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts to overtake Wolf Creek?
Well, I got to give the family credit there. They've been really creative with the way they have snow made that they can preserve. But Mike, I'm going to be a little regional here. A carpet for a couple hundred vertical feet isn't 2,000 vertical feet of powder skiing at Wolf Creek. So, and it was a day's difference. They're not apples to apples.
Yeah.
This is a proper argument, by the way.
Well, you know what? This is John's an East Coast boy, so I'm gonna lay it on the line. Big snow beat them all.
Well, they're free. Yeah, they never shut down.
Exactly.
We always have. I grew up in the East, learned to ski in the Poconos, Liberty and Round Top. Spent years in Boston developing a business. But for us here, we always got St. Mary's Glacier. They once had a lift running on that. And for years, we would ski at least one day a month. Human powered. Same thing at Tupperman. You've had it. So the hardcore committed skier will find snow.
Yes, and just with St. Mary's Glacier, because I've skied it numerous times, beautiful spot outside Denver. But John, they crossed the line with me there. I heard they're charging to park.
Yes, that is a sad state.
It's just, the world is changing. Well, John, Keith and I want to thank you for coming on. Once again, Keith did not know that he was the person I was thinking about because he has a child. He's busy. He can't always get out skiing like you and I, skiing midweek. And I thought Keith was the perfect demographic for what you offer in a product.
Mike and Keith, thank you very much for bringing us on, giving us the opportunity to share with people what we're committed to doing and what our service provides.
Thanks for sharing it, John.
Thank you. We'll see you at the Country Ski event, and let's make this a winter to remember. Folks, that was John Siewierski from the Mountain Sports Club. We'll be right back after this.
Okay.
Are you serious about playing your sport in college? Do you need a flexible education that allows you to maintain your practice and competition schedules while also preparing you to succeed at the next level? You should check out the University of Nebraska High School. UNHS is accredited and offers more than 100 online courses, including NCAA-approved courses to protect your academic eligibility. Students can earn a UNHS diploma or take a single course for transfer credit. Courses are college prep, self-paced, and available 24/7, 365. Enroll anytime and take up to a year to complete a course. Visit highschool.nebraska.edu today.
If you want to be inspired and informed on everything about the New England ski and outdoor scene, then you need to check out skijournal.com. Skijournal.com delivers daily content on breaking industry news, tips, gear, dining, travel, entertainment, as well as all archived episodes of the Emmy-nominated New England Ski Journal TV show and the Basecamp Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to New England Ski Journal, the longest-running regional ski magazine in the country. New England Ski Journal's award-winning writers and photographers bring all 4 seasons to your door with best-in-class coverage on skiing and the outdoors. Log on to skijournal.com and click on the subscribe button to get New England Ski Journal mailed to you today. New England Ski Journal is a Seamans Media publication. Seamans Media. Inspiring. Informative. Insightful.
And welcome back to the Basecamp Podcast presented by Country Ski and Sport. 3 locations: Hanover, Quincy, and Westwood. And how can you not be excited about the future of Killington when you hear the way Mike brought up how the whole purchase came together?
I said I was blown away. Those blown away moments. He brought it all to light. This is good for skiing, first off. This is good for the skiing community of New England and the community of Killington proper. The fact, what I love about Mike, first off, is that he is out front. He said it. He goes, I'm going to tell you the good and the bad. I'm not going to hide it.
Right.
Okay?
We're going to find out. There's no point to hiding, like, the bad, because when it comes out, what are you going to do then?
Well, you start to politicize it rather than telling the truth on the front side. I thought what he said, I asked him about the new 6-pack for a reason, because I'm concerned that Superstar, Skylark, Bittersweet can't take that type of traffic. But his explanation was outstanding. It makes sense. And I wasn't thinking in those terms. I was thinking, oh my goodness, 2 more people at every chair on Superstar. But, coming up front, being forthright, telling people that, look, June 1st isn't a reality this year, but long term, it's going to be better. And you got to give a little to gain a lot.
Right. We'll be okay 1 year without, pushing for Memorial Day weekend or June 1st. I thought the big thing is the fact that all the profits going in for the first 10 years are going back into the mountain. Therefore, nobody is in this for the quick hit.
Well, so moral of the story is, I don't know how long you've been around the ski industry.
Consumer, plenty of years, but, inside of it, not nearly as long.
So there's an old adage in the ski industry. You want to make $1 million? Spend $2 million. Okay? Or whatever it might be. Right. Okay? You can't, the ski industry is not a quick hit situation. And for the investors to realize that this isn't Wall Street. They're independents. They might be hedge fund managers or whatever, irregardless, but the ski industry is not of that way. We see it right now with Epic, with layoffs and everything else, because this is a tough business.
You can't control every single element of this business.
No.
And unfortunately for them, the biggest one is the weather. And there's definitely nobody going to be controlling the weather anytime soon.
Nobody, but snowmaking has gotten much better. We produce snow at higher temperatures than we did 30 years ago. And Killington, like they've always done, is investing in snow guns.
The investment in snowmaking, I mean, you used to be, hey, we got 3 new trails. We have this new lift. It's this season especially across New England. There's only a handful of new lifts going in.
Yep.
It's 90% is new snowmaking technology.
Well, technology has gotten better, and if you do not have snowmaking in this day and age, you're probably not going to ever be profitable, even though it costs money. Snowmaking is the key, and I can tell you point blank, because I do ski a lot, I do travel, I can tell you that Killington's conditions across the board have been as good or better than anything else in New England on a consistent early season basis.
Absolutely.
And, I applaud him. I thought Mike, you know what? A CEO that tells it the way it is, good, bad, or indifferent, and is connected to the community he said he had 800 people at that meeting. I mean, how many ski area GMs, CEOs are willing to stand up in front of 800 community members and tell them that, hey, your ski season's going to be shorter this year?
Yeah, not many are willing to do it.
Nope. Well, I can tell you, I applaud Mike. I applaud the team up at Killington. They do a fantastic job, and it was so good having him on to tell about Killington's independence.
It's such a huge mountain in terms of, it's one of those places that how their season goes is kind of how the rest of the whole New England goes. People are going to go there. If they don't go in droves, they're probably not going elsewhere in its place. It's kind of the big fish.
It is the big fish in terrain, in snowmaking capabilities, in lift capacities. I don't know anybody in New England that hasn't said, I want to go to Killington at some point in their skiing career. Anybody.
Right.
So that sort of speaks volume for who they are. Folks, that'll be it for this episode of the Basecamp Podcast. We want to thank Mike Salamano from Killington for joining us today. We also want to thank Country Ski and Sport for being our sponsor. That'll be it for today. We look forward to the next talk on the Basecamp Podcast. We will be dealing with a little more independence on the next one. So make sure you check in. We'll see you next time.
New England Ski Journal's Basecamp is a Seamans Media podcast. Seamans Media. Inspiring, informative, insightful.